All right, so today is March 30th, 2023, and this week there were 68 reported cases of COVID-19 in the Charlotte-Mecklenburg County, which shows a 39% decrease over the last 2 weeks. Therefore, each subject is comfortable not wearing a mask. So my name is Jesse, and today we are going to perform an interview. As we know, the COVID-19 pandemic was highly impactful to the world, and our goal with this interview is to collect your story. The Learning Archives project is specifically focused on communities of color and those who are many times rarely represented. We are very happy that you allowed us to do this interview, and we are excited to hear about your COVID-19 experiences. So first, can you state your name and introduce your physical appearance, like your height and what you're wearing?
My name is Deron Huggins, and I am 5'5", 5'6" on a good day. I'm wearing a navy shirt with the Queen's logo on it and gray sweatpants.
So thinking back to March 2020, could you tell us what you remember about that day?
March 2020, I was a student in my junior year of school, and we were on spring break and kind of just enjoying the break from school. And then we got news that we weren't returning to school. So initially I was excited that, less school, less work, but I didn't know it was ahead of time.
Yeah. So how did that impact your schooling? You were just completely out of school for the rest of that year?
Yes, I was out of school for the rest of that year, and I had to finish that semester online. Mm-hmm. And which in my degree, it was really hard to learn physical hands-on skills through a laptop.
So what emotions did you have hearing that news? Were you just kind of didn't really believe it would be that bad, or were you scared?
Initially it was disbelief because I didn't see COVID-19 as something that serious. I thought it was just another little cold thing that the world was experiencing, and we were looking too far into it and freaking out about, but later just kind of realized that it was something serious that we had to actually plan and be proactive about.
Yeah. So was your family impacted by COVID?
Yes, my family was impacted by COVID. My siblings and my mother at the time were homeless, so they had to live in a hotel, which you had a lot of people coming in and out of, and a lot of different germs going through.
Did you do anything to kind of support them during that time, or it was just total lockdown?
At the time it was total lockdown. We weren't allowed to leave at all. Had to kind of order food through Amazon to get delivered to the house, for food to cook. And if we wanted to cook meal, it would be fast food most of the time.
So how did you cope with all that stress during the lockdown?
A lot of the times I would kind of just try to do the things that I knew that kind of make me happy at the time. So sports was something that I was able to enjoy because I was lucky enough to have a basketball court in my backyard and could go and play sports. But also video games, TV, anything to distract me from what was going on in the world. Apart from doing my study and getting grades for my degree.
Yeah, so did you pick up any new hobbies, or you just kind of did the things that you knew?
I actually started to develop my clothing brand during COVID, so I initiated that with the creating of a name, a logo, and started getting ideas for some apparel, designs for my apparel that I was coming out with.
So, what were any of the lasting COVID effects for you?
Lasting COVID effects is just the kind of the fear of something like that could happen again. We always have new diseases developing in the world, and knowing that the world could shut down again like that is kind of scary. And I really wouldn't want that to happen for my family just because of what they went through last time.
Yeah. Has it had any lasting effects on your family?
From a COVID standpoint, not really. My grandma didn't get any of it. didn't lose anyone to COVID. It was just more of the living in fear and not knowing if everyone was taken care of.
What is something that you lost during this time?
I lost a bit of who I was during that time, just because I am typically a person that's outside all the time and enjoying nature or playing sports. So during the time of COVID, it was kind of like hard for me to be me, being trapped in the house all the time. But as we got through it, I kind of learned how to continue to be myself, and was able to get back to myself once we got through it.
Yeah, so that's something that you kind of gained too, is the ability to like get back to who you were.
Mm-hmm.
All right, so if you could just hold up that hand map, and just by looking at it, what's like something that stood out to you or was like super easy to answer, like you just knew?
I guess the people that are around me was the easiest thing to pick out and answer, just because I know the people that are in my life and have impact on my life.
So if you could go back to March of 2020, what is one thing that you would tell yourself?
I would tell myself to be patient and to have faith that everything's going to work out in the end, and that this would overall just make you into a better person.
Well, thank you so much for sharing your story with us. We really appreciate it.
All right.